Jennifer Salinas is on a mission. The Bolivian powerhouse, a professional boxing world champion in 2 weight classes with 15 wins under her belt, 4 by knockout, is preparing for the biggest challenge of her life, and it won't be in the ring. What fuels her training are ghosts from her past, but they also give each punch and each win greater meaning. Because with each triumph, Salinas uses her moment in the spotlight to direct our attention to a cause that is intensely personal. Repeated sexual abuse at an early age traumatized the young Jennifer. She was headed down a path of depression, drug abuse, and worse, until she discovered a love of boxing.
If I hadn't found boxing, I wouldn't be alive right now. And I just wanted to stay alive. I wanted to have a reason to live. I didn't have a reason to live. I lived with nightmares every day because of what happened to me. I could not get it out of my head. It felt like it happened the night before.
The legacy of Jennifer's abuse is still a part of her daily life. Currently dividing her time between a home in Virginia with her children and a training camp in Rhode Island, Jennifer's focus lately has been on the difficulties associated with going through a painful divorce, while at the same time training for her upcoming fights, but never losing sight of what's best for her kids.
I knew for a long time that my marriage wasn't going to work. I tried to make it work. He tried as well, but you just know. We're okay with it. The kids understand what's going on. It's just the adjustment now, the emotional part of behind all of this when it comes to the kids especially, and my son is having a really hard time with it.
I love you. This is gonna be okay. Everything's gonna work out. You know that, right? You just gotta adjust. We all gotta adjust.
Boxing has always been a big part of Jennifer's ongoing healing process. For her, it's been a kind of therapy, stretching back to when she discovered the sport as a troubled teen growing up in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
I always fought. Ever since I can remember, I always was getting in trouble. And I tried every sport out there, swimming, soccer, wrestling. I was in the dance team, the captain, but I didn't feel like I belonged anywhere. I just kept jumping all over the place. And I got in so much trouble because I like to fight. I'm talking about trouble in school, at work. I just fought everywhere. I was always in a bad mood. And I thought I was this tough girl. So I decided to start boxing. I figured, why not do what I love to do and possibly get paid to do it?
And she did well, winning the Golden Gloves in 2001 and turning pro a short 2 years later. Though boxing has been a productive outlet for the aggression that often rises up inside of her, Salinas has found another way to deal with her past and possibly help others who might be undergoing the same kind of sexual abuse.
So I'm an ambassador of a center in Bolivia, and they focus on victims of child abuse, sexual child abuse. And that's one of my passions. I read a lot about that. I want to understand the psychology behind it all. I am a victim, a survivor of sexual child abuse, so that's one subject that I get very emotional about, and I help kids as much as I can in Bolivia and Dominican Republic. Every time I travel, I try to get the word out there and pass a message on about good touch, bad touch, ways to prevent it, ways to treat it.
Jennifer is passionate about this project because she knows firsthand the lifelong devastation sexual abuse can cause.
I didn't want to kill myself. That's why I stayed with boxing. If I hadn't found boxing, Mike, I wouldn't be alive right now. I've tried taking my life before with pills. I've overdosed a few times. I've woken up in the hospital with charcoal in my mouth. And I just wanted to stay alive. I wanted to have a reason to live. I didn't have a reason to live. I lived with nightmares every day because of what happened to me. I could not get it out of my head. It felt like it happened the night before. Like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened to me. It was such a shock for me every day to actually accept what happened to me and not be able to do anything about it. So when I started boxing, it just got my mind off of all of that, but at the same time it was with me because it made me train harder. And now I fight to pass on that message. Every time I win, I make a huge publication on my social media related to child sexual abuse, because I know that people that are interested in following my career or whatnot, they're gonna read my publication related to that victory, and I spit it in. If you like kids, if you look at kids in a perverted way, stop. You're going to ruin their lives. Don't be selfish. And I try to put as much as I can, taking advantage of that one victory.
As Jennifer prepares for her upcoming fight, her own children and the children of a breeze of hope won't be far from her mind. Every win means more attention paid to this pervasive problem and more hope for the kids. But at the same time, there is the interior battle that this fighter must fight alone.
The boxing, that's been my way to treat my trauma. But eventually I know that I have to talk to a therapist about it, and I'm actually going to Bolivia in April for my therapy for the first time. It's my first time I'm going to have therapy about what happened to me. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm going to be with all the kids that I help out every time I go. So now it's time to help myself.
If you'd like to help Jennifer's cause, please go to abreezeofhope.org and make a donation.